And hello and welcome. My name is Martin Hansen. I will be your instructor for Game 1306, Design and Creation of Games, for the Spring 2021 semester. Currently, this class is supposed to be a face-to-face class. We'll see. With all the stuff that's going on, we have no idea if it's actually going to be that way. So hopefully it will be, and I will be able to give this to you in person as well. But what we want to do with this video, in essence, is give you sort of how the class is going to be conducted, what's expected of you as a student, and what you should expect from the course, and what you're going to be learning with me. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and get to Canvas. Canvas is where the syllabus is, and where most of this information is going to be for you. So if this is your first time with HCC, what you want to do is type in hccs.edu. You should already be registered as a student. And you should already have an account set up with HCC. I'm not going to go over that. What I will do is say if you go to that website, you click here in the top right hand corner, you will see where it says future student, current student. So if you're a current student, you would click there, and it's going to give you a list of stuff. I guess this is the first time it's trying to do it on my page. And T-Ways. There we go. Class search, course catalog, Canvas is what, there we go. So Eagle Online, Canvas, and you'll click there. I'm not going to click there because I'm not a student and I'm not set up as one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to, let's see, my dashboard, which is what you guys should be seeing. So from this page, what you'll do is you'll be able to see in your dashboard all your current classes, and you'll see the unpublished classes that I have down there at the bottom. That's actually where your class is, which I will be publishing soon. So once you find your class, you're going to select your class and actually go to the home page. So inside the home page, what you guys will see right now is just the syllabus. These are the rest of the things that we'll be talking about throughout the course of the semester. There's your group projects and all your labs. So you should be able to go to the syllabus tab, click on that, and you won't have an edit tab. There should be something there that would allow you to be able to see it. If not, I've actually created its own module, and if you click there, you will have a thumbnail or a there it is. So it should be a Word document, and it should be able to open up on your computer. If not, I may leave a JPEG version or something like that up there as well. So then that way, if in case you have a problem being able to open this, you should not be able to have a problem opening up a JPEG or a PDF. I think I'll save it as a PDF. All right, so with the syllabus open, let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. So this is Game 1306, Design and Creation of Games. It is a lecture lab, so you will be listening to me quite a bit. This is the course number for this semester. It is a Spring 2021. It's a 16-week course starting for us on the 19th of January, and for us ending, the last day of class for us is the 5th on the 13th. I think it actually goes to the end of that Sunday as far as officially, but this will be the last day for us. Lecture lab, so me talking, you guys doing stuff. There's me again, my name, and if it is going to be an in-person class, this is where we will be meeting. So it will be in the West Loop campus, which is 59 and 610, and we will be in room C121. So that's going to be in the gaming center towards the back left-hand side of the building if you're walking in through the front. It is a Tuesday-Thursday class. We will be meeting from 6 to 8:50, so that basically means 9 o'clock. I don't know when the building officially closes. I believe it's 10 o'clock, so if that's the case, we have a little bit of wiggle room at the end. Normally by 9 I'm tired and I want to go, so we will have some time to talk before they kick us out. 3 credit hours is what you're getting for it, and it's 96 total hours of instruction time. There I am again, the name of the classroom. As far as communicating with me, I don't have office hours because I am an adjunct faculty member, so during class is the only time that I will be on campus. There is an email there for you if you need to get a hold of me. I do check my Gmail fairly often. So I will try also not to abuse this. I do have students that end up sending me 20 emails a day, and I'm like, dude, not gonna happen. Okay, you send me one email, I'll try to address it. Remember that I'm also doing other things. This is not the only thing I do. So if you have something catastrophic happening, please email me. If it's the little things, try to use the email system that's available through Canvas. Okay, you also have an HCC email that's available to me. I very often do not check that one. So this is the preferred method of contact. So there you see right there, personal email. And the number that I've left there is actually for the department. So that would be the gaming department, and that should send you to gaming. If nobody's there, leave a message and they'll contact you. They'll try to contact you. There is no prerequisites needed for this class. I do hope that you have basic computer file management skills. So you know how to turn on a computer, you know how to save files, you know how to move things around in a computer as far as, like Word documents and projects and things like that. So I do expect a certain basic level of computer savvy, but you don't have to be, you don't have to love computers or be a total nerd. You can just know how to use a computer. So there are no previous classes. This is an introductory level class. So we are taking students who have no previous knowledge of how to make games. Now I will say that if you do have some Photoshop skills, that's going to help you a little bit later on. And if you have some 3D skills, that might also help you out. As far as working on the projects themselves. Some coding skills, those are also important, although we will be using blueprints primarily. Okay, so from there, Canvas Learning Management System. This is where the class is going to be held. The section for Game 1302 will be used. This typo. That should be 1306. But anyway, so they're saying, if you don't have success with one browser, try a different browser. Canvas, where I've already shown you how to get to. Okay, so from there may be, if we do have to teach classes online, that will happen here through the Cisco WebEx. So if there is any type of an online component where we miss a day or we can't show up because the school has been locked down because of, bacteria or whatever, we'll be switching over to Cisco WebEx. If we do end up doing that, go ahead and have that ready. So I would click there, download the software that they're going to need you to download to be able to get this to work. And then we may have a test on the WebEx one day just to make sure that everybody is able to log in from home to a class. So then that way, the day that it happens, we don't have like everybody freaking out trying to get it all done in one day. Okay, instructional material. There is no textbooks for this class. Essentially what this class will be is lectures where I will be teaching you stuff in real time in face-to-face, or if not on the WebEx, on an online class. Otherwise, it'll be videos that I'll be posting to YouTube. So you will have me to be able to ask questions during class, and then you will have the YouTube videos that you will be watching on your own when, as they become available. And from there, that will be our textbook. So the videos that I will be making will be a step-by-step guide on how to complete the projects, or at least the lab projects. The group projects, however, will be, at that point, that will be on your own. You might be able to, or sometimes, I actually enjoy the challenge. So sometimes people will say, hey, I want to be able to create this, and I don't know how. So I'll maybe spend some time, if I have it available, to work on finding a solution for them, and then let them know what I figured out. So in the group projects, you might get some help, depends on my schedule. On the lab projects, you will have videos that will walk you through it. So basically everything in the group projects will be, anyways, let me not get ahead of myself. Okay, so we have instructional material, no books. There is tutoring, library, supplemental, and that has to be in there. So if you use the library system, we do have tutoring, although the tutoring, I don't know if they will know how to make games. That's usually like math, science, and writing tutoring. From there, we have a course overview. So introduction. So basically what you will be doing in this class, you will be introduced to game and simulation development. Includes analysis of existing applications and creation of a game using an existing game engine, which for us will be Unreal Engine. In-depth coverage of the essential elements of game design, also covers an overview of cultural history of electronic games, surveys, and the major innovators and trends, taboos that motivate game design. So I think I've actually changed that. This may be an older version. I might have to update that. But basically, that's what we're doing. So we are going to introduce you to the software that makes games. We'll also introduce you to, what's okay to create, what's not okay to create, how to create it. And we're going to put you through a real world environment, because it's very few people that make games by themselves. It's a lot of work and you need a lot of skills to be able to do it. So most people will group together. Everybody's individualness will help with whatever the project is, and so that's why we will be doing group projects. So you will have individual projects and group projects. I'll just let you guys read that. Learning objectives. Okay, let's see. So basically, the first part of it will be the lectures, which is what the 1.0 is, which is identifying the history, the industry, and how all that works. You will also be creating a pitch. So there will be documentation for a pitch. So basically what that is you coming in front of the class and selling your game, or trying to sell your game, so then that way you can introduce it, essentially what you're doing is you're looking for money. So basically you're putting all your documentation of your game into one document and into a presentation, and essentially you will be using that to create a sales pitch for your game, to try to be able to secure money, or set up some kind of a deal with somebody or a producer, production house. So from there we have create game assets for game production. So you will be making the game, design individual projects for the final. So essentially how that's going to work is the group, you will be broken up into groups. Everybody will be responsible for their own level inside the game that they are creating as a group. That's how I'll be able to individually judge what you're doing, and then how the thing works together as a full project, whether the game works, moving through the levels, does everything make sense, is there continuity between the levels. So that will be the individual projects for the final. And then discuss post-production on individual projects. So once you've got your project together, this will be sort of like running through the alpha, beta versions, and then all the different versions. We will be getting feedback on those versions, and then you'll be able to go back and make changes to it if we stick to the schedule. So you will need to listen to the people in your group. You will need to be able to communicate with them. Communication is a big part of being able creating games. You need creative problem solving, and you also need to use reason, because this is computers. So computers, you will need to think how the code works, think how the elements work together, what type of element you need in a particular situation, how you might get something to look a certain way, and all that would be thinking. So basic listening and speaking skills plus creativity, problem solving, and reasoning. Information, communication. So this will be us setting up some type of comms to be able to talk back and forth as a group. And let's see what else we've got. I'll let you guys read that. Let you guys read that. Okay, so you should put several hours. Don't think that this course, you will spend more time outside of class working on projects than you will in class working on projects. And just get ready for that. If you're not prepared to spend at least 2 days out of school working on projects, then you're not going to be very successful in this class, because it takes time to develop everything, and to figure out and make it work and make sure you have no bugs, and to be able to complete it, finished project. So what we'll be doing is very ambitious, but it's doable. but you will have to work outside of class to make that work. So as far as myself, I will be providing for you things that you should be expecting from me, providing a grading scale, detailed grading formula, which I'll show you guys in just a minute, facilitate an effective learning environment through learn-centered instructional techniques. So basically, I will teach you a skill. You will incorporate that skill, and then I will check to make sure that that skill works. or that it works in the version of your project. Provide description of assignments, which I will do when the assignments become available. Inform students of policies such as attendance, withdrawal, tardiness. That's coming up. Provide the course outline and the class calendar, which is again coming up. And arrange to meet the individual students as needed. There's also a typo. Okay. And again, I've already explained that I don't have lab hours or hours that I am there other than when I'm there at school. So I can give you, the time after class from 9 till 10, which is usually when the school closes, to be able to ask me questions or look at your project. If not, send me an email. If I have the time, I'll read your email, see if there's a solution that I can give you, and send you a video, and then make that link available to everybody in the class in case they had the same question. So that's how I'll handle that. So as a student, your responsibilities are to attend class, whether that be in person or online, participate actively in reviewing course materials, interacting with your classmates, and responding promptly to your to communications with me. So if I send you stuff, send me a reply. Usually I don't try to contact people. I only do it if there's a problem. You may contact me, but again, like I said earlier, don't abuse it. Participate actively. Okay, we already said that. Read and comprehend the textbooks, which we don't have, but that would be video, so remove that word and add video. Complete the requirement or the required assignments and exams, and I would mention on time, and we'll get to those when I show you the schedule. Ask for help when there is a question or problem. I've already explained how I'm going to take care of that. Keep copies of your paperwork, including your syllabus, handouts, and assignments. So most of this is all going to be online. This is a digital class, so just make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Be aware of and comply with any academic honesty. Okay, so as far as the academic honesty is concerned, actually see, and I think, you know what, do I do that now or do I do that later? Is there the academic honesty thing somewhere? Academic integrity. Okay, so I'll do that in just a little bit. So don't cheat, basically what I'm saying there. All right, student responsibilities. Okay, so assignments. So basically the things that you will be graded on in my class will be quizzes. There will be labs. There's going to be 11 total, 10 which you will be graded for. And there will be 3 group projects. So in the labs, those will be individual. Those will be you working with your software and completing the assignments that I've given you. The way to look at labs is those are the skills that you will need to be able to integrate into your game, those skills. So once I show you what the labs are, you'll understand what I mean by that. The group projects is you breaking up into your groups of, and I'm not sure, it depends on how many students are there and how many groups I can get out of you. Usually I like to keep it in groups of 3 or 4. And in those groups, you will be working on your own game. So you get to decide how that game looks, where that environment is, what packs you use. What I will be doing at that point will be working with the groups, trying to guide them, trying to give them some kind of direction, so then that way they can complete their project on time. Deadlines and things we will be talking about later. To do this, you will need, let's see, the class assignments will be available through Canvas. There will be hyperlinks to video walkthroughs that will show you how, like this video that explains everything for you, and is available online for you to be able to look at any time. So you can't tell me, oh, I don't remember this. No, there's a video explaining it. You could have taken notes. You can watch the video at 3 o'clock in the morning when your insomnia hits. Doesn't matter. You have access to all the information for the class, so I don't want to hear that. There will be a hyperlink available through Canvas that will send you to a YouTube video, and that's where you will be able to watch these. Now, as far as turning stuff in, as far as the labs are concerned, those will be done through a third-party platform like YouTube, Vimeo, BitChute, etc., which allows you to be able to load video to that. If not, I have another free one that I will give you a link to that is made by, I think it's TechSmith, which is a software that we will be using to do your video screen capture and walkthroughs. The reason why I'm doing this is, first of all, it's good practice. A lot of people are now doing online video walkthroughs. So for you to be able to create your own or learn how to do video work, or at least a little bit of video work to be able to make these things, I think that would be beneficial. For your group projects, there will be some paperwork. There will also be printed materials, research, and documentation of that research that I will be asking for. So there you will, there it won't be completely digital. There will be some paper that you'll have to turn in. And like I said, printed materials and presentation materials for your game, which we'll talk about in a second. As far as the quizzes, I believe there's 4 quizzes. Those quizzes will be about the lectures. So you'll listen to me give the lecture, then you'll have access to the lecture on Canvas, and then from there you'll take the quiz. That quiz will be also available on Canvas. As far as exams, there's no real exams in here. There aren't any real exams out there. Most of the time people will want to look at your portfolio, look at past work, and that's how they're going to hire you. Whether, if you've done work and you can show, hey, I got this project and it got finished, and wow, look at it, doesn't it look cool? Or you will have a portfolio that you can show them of all the stuff that you've done, which will, I guess, based on that, determine whether they're going to hire you or not. So that's how we're going to be doing our exams. The exams will be your group projects. All right, so we have the individual assignments. That's going to be labs 1 through 10. Like I said, there's 11 in total. There's going to be 10 that I'm going to grade. There's going to be assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3. Notice that 75% of that is coming from what you do individually for your level. 25% of your grade will actually be what the project looks like as a whole. So keep that in mind, because if somebody else is dragging in your group, that's going to make your grade suffer just like it would in the real world. And in the real world, your grades would be the money that you're making from the video game that you're able to collect. And if somebody has not done their part, that could affect how much money you make. So in this case, think of your grades as currency, and the more currency you have, the yay, you get to pass with an A. You became a millionaire, whatever, however you want to think of that. But yes, your assignments, I try to make it to where if you do your part, plus if you attend class and you do good on everything else, you will still be able to make a B if everybody else in your group fails. So try not to let it get to that point. So you will still pass with a passing grade. It just won't be a great one if your group doesn't come together and solidify. So you need to make sure that happens. So the way that I'm grading everything is everything comes out to 1,000 points. The tests, the quizzes come out to 10 points apiece. So that gives us 400 points. And every day that you attend, that is going to be 18.75 points for a total of 600 points. And that leaves everything together at 5,000 points. So if at the end of the course you make 5,000 points, you get the 100%. And then from there, you can figure out what the A, B, and C structure would be for that. So I would take a percentage of this, and if that percentage gives me the number of points divided by 5,000, or 5,000 divided by the number of points that you have, would give you a percentage. And then based on that, you would either get the A, the B, the C, the D, or the F. There is also incompletes. I don't really give incompletes. I never have. Even when we had the COVID the first time, there was no incompletes. Either you were able to adjust and move online, or you weren't, in which case you got whatever grade you did. From there is the HCC grading scale, which is available on the handbook. And now we finally get to what we're going to be doing day by day. So in the day by days, the first day is going to be the syllabus introduction. You'll get your first lecture, what is a game, and you'll get your first intro, which is your first lab into the Unreal Engine. From there, January 21st, we'll be doing our second lecture. You'll be having your first quiz, so I didn't give you a quiz on the first day. And then creating interior spaces, which we will be designing a 2-story house. On January 26th, we will get our second lecture, and we will start talking about exterior spaces, forest, caves, and ocean landscapes. And notice we're moving very fast. Very, very fast. I could just keep reading this, but just to give you an overview of the different types of labs, right? So creating exterior spaces, lighting for interior and exterior spaces. From there, we come back on that will be when you get your first group assignment, and you'll get broken up into groups. So starting in February. So the whole first month of January is sort of like introduction to getting how to get it started, and then creating an environment. Starting in February, that'll be the second month. That month we'll break up into groups. You'll start figuring out what you need for your group assignments. Those assignments will actually be due, the first group project will be due the first day in March. So you have a whole month to be able to work on assignment 1 and get that all figured out. From there, you'll get a lecture on what project 1 is, and then you'll get the last 2 lectures that have quizzes. So team roles and responsibilities, that makes sense for what we'll be doing here with our groups. And then the production cycle, which will help you understand what is needed from you at the different stages through your project. From there, that starts us in February, and in February we just go really hard on the labs. So we do creating enemies, which we'll be talking about collision settings, navigation settings for your characters and for enemy characters. We will be designing. We won't actually make the characters. We'll be using animations and meshes and skeletal systems from Paragon, from their characters, which are the characters that are available free through Epic Games. And we'll make them run around, shoot, and die when they get hit. From there, we'll talk about health bar energy, health bar and damage systems, level design. So we'll go back and we'll start talking about animation and how to make like moving platforms and opening and closing doors. And then to finish up the game, we need to be able to create menus. So when you die, or you need to pause the game, or when you turn the game on, when you launch it, it will give you the options that you're looking for to be able to move around inside the game. From there, you'll have exporting the game, which will be the last lab, and that will be the one that we really don't get graded on. Or maybe the first one, Intro to Unreal. That one we don't get graded on. This one we do. So those would be the 10. It's actually 2 through 11 that will be graded on. The first one, it's just Introduction to Unreal, so there's really nothing to grade there. Like I said earlier, Project 1 will be due on March the 2nd. So you have a whole month to work on Project 1, which is basically paperwork and pitch. So at that point, you can have a slightly small maybe you have some kind of concept that you're trying to prove, or something interesting that your game does that you might be able to demo for us as part of Project 1. But not necessary, because at that point we will have just barely have been able to finish understanding what we need for our game. So for those that are thinking what kind of game we're going to be able to create, it's definitely going to be a first-person shooter. All of the skills that I'll be giving you obviously will translate into any other version of the, if you want to create a racing game or something else. But I basically work on first-person shooters, so guess what? You will be making a first-person shooter game, because that's what I've got most of my code set up for. So we need an intro, how to make the environments, how to light those environments, how to create our very first enemies, things that will be attacking us or seeking us out, then dealing with how those enemies will be moving around on the game area, or the area, we'll define areas for them to be able to work in. And then from there, we'll make a dynamic enemy, so you have something that looks like a person running after you, trying to whatever you. And then obviously, well, how do you know if you've died or if you've succeeded? So we need to create a health bar system with a damage code. And then from there, we will have the, how to make a more interesting level. and then, like I said, menus, and then how to export the game so it's a standalone version of the game. Now, so that would be March. March, you will be doing your presentations. From there, after the presentations, I will give you information for what is that? Work on project one. Oh, okay. So I'm giving you 2 days in class to work on the project. That will also give us a little bit of spillover if we don't get the labs done, and then the project will be due on March the 9th. Okay, that's when the elevator pitch, the oral game proposal, and the written game proposal will be done. From there, we have Project 2, which will actually be you producing the game, which you have in Project 1 designed, and in paper and in theory. And then from there, you will have your bonus lab. Now, your bonus lab will be basically one of a group of different types of additional labs that I have done over the years for this course. So there's like a flamethrower, there are inventory asset, so that you can have an inventory list. Let's see, and you can store assets that way. That one's quite a complex one. Gravity, there was one on gravity, how to make gravity, how to like create different versions of gravity where gravity changes. What else? Anyways, so you'll pick from one of those, and you'll make that some kind of aspect or available inside of your games. From there, we have spring break in the middle of March, which is great because that gives you time to start producing your game. Some of you will try to go out. I don't know. It depends on COVID. They might just lock us all up, and then we would just have to sit at home producing our game. The rest of March is time for you to be able to work on your game in class. And so that's basically what we'll be doing all of March. So first month we introduce, we do labs up through the second month. Third month we start working on project. We finish project 1, which is all of our the design and creation for the game, and then we have the end all the way to the end of March, and then on April 1st we will have our first playable version is due. So all the work that you've had all the way up to March 30th, we should have a game that is, the characters are there. There might be some special features that are not available. There might be some things that you weren't able to work out, but that's fine because you still have at least a whole nother month to be able to do that. So from April till the end of May, you'll have time in class to be able to do that. And you'll see that this now goes into a schedule. So we have first playable version is due on the first day of April. Our alpha version is due on the 13th. Our code freeze would be April 20th. Beta test day 1, which you will be bringing your projects into class and making them available on a computer, and students from other groups will come and play your game. And then give you information about maybe they found a bug, maybe they don't understand how something works, and they will be giving you information that you can then take back, work out those bugs, and see if you can't make a better version of that. So we actually will have the last 2 weeks, that's what we'll be doing. We'll have beta test day 1, where people come in, play your game, write information, write notes, tell you about what they liked, what they didn't like. And then you'll have that second day to come in and work out those problems on Thursday. Then again, that Tuesday we'll have another beta testing day. You'll get to work, and then the final, which is your finished game, will be due on May the 13th. So basically all of April we will be working on your game, and actually we'll be taking 2 months to work on your game, because really all of March we're working on your game. We're not doing labs at that point anymore. By the way, labs will be due in April, so none of that stuff will carry over into the last month. You should be done with all labs. If I get any labs after, I won't accept any labs after this day. So there will be due dates on the lab that I want you to stay current with the labs. If you happen to fail to get it in on time, you'll lose automatically 15 points. So the highest you'll get is an 85, and then it's just about completing it. I don't take off points because it's not due on time other than the first due date. So let's say I sign something, that lab I say will be due by next whatever. that date comes, you don't have the lab finished, 15 points off, and then you have until April 1st to finish the lab. If you don't finish it by April 1st, you get a 0. If you finish it by April 1st and you do everything that was needed inside the lab, you'll get an 85 as the highest grade. Okay? So just keep that in mind. It's not a punishment for not being able to do your work. It is, real world has consequences for ignoring deadlines. So your currency is your grade. So you won't get as much money if you don't get stuff done on time. Okay, so that explains the syllabus. Missed assignments I've already explained. Academic integrity. Trust me, I will be able to tell whether you are copying code from somebody else because it will look exactly the same. Things will look exactly the same. There's no mistaking. There's too many variables in the software for you to have exactly the same looking thing. So I will know. So don't try to do it. I've seen too many projects and I know what's possible. And for two people to turn in the same thing, it's not possible. So at that point, just make it to where that doesn't happen, because anything that you fail to do on your own gives me or the school grounds for dismissing you and making you not available to take classes at HCC. So don't do that. And in the real world, that can lead to problems. That can lead to lawsuits. So here, all that would be happening is you would be asked not to come back as a student. And in the real world, that might be jail. That might be having to go to court. That might be having to pay fines. That might be a lot of different things. So academic integrity and doing your own work is absolutely important for you to do. Attend class. There's actually points for you attending class. Attendance procedures, blah, blah, blah. Be on time for class. Try to interact with the class. The more you interact with me, the more I'm going to remember your name, and the more I'm going to remember, oh yeah, that dude was in class, or that person was in class that day. So yeah. Student contact, as far as contacting me, student contacts, develop conduct, not contact. Conduct. Yeah, if you're in class, put your phones on vibrate. Don't surf the web. I've tried to multitask and listen to new information while I'm doing something else. Never works. You have to have a level of experience in that stuff, or whatever it is that you're trying to multitask, both, that you'd be able to do them effectively. If you're trying to learn new information while you multitask, never works. So as you're listening to the lectures, just listen to the lectures. I know they're long. But you have to, it's not a good idea not to. From there, we will have the external hard drive. So things that you will need for the class: external hard drive, flash drive. You will need a way to be able to communicate with other people in your group. So you'll have Dropbox, Google Drive. These are different options for that. Any HCC policies that you have that you want additional information about, you click there. That will send you to the student handbook online, and then from there you'll be able to see if any of these things apply for you. EGLs. Okay, so you guys can read that. For anybody that's got a disability, whether that be physical or mental, this school does allow for extra time for projects and for help, additional help for whatever your disability is. You do not need to tell me what your disability is. You would go and contact this office, which is actually down the hall from us. I can actually point to it from where I'm standing in class, and then you will talk to the last person that I know was Becky, who was running that, and I believe she's still there, but because of COVID I haven't been in the building in a long time, so I haven't seen her in a while. But that's who you would talk to, or you could contact them, I guess, through there. What you do is you talk to them, they figure out what they are able to offer you, and then they would give you a piece of paperwork to give to me, which then tells me what I'm allowed to do. Doesn't tell me what's wrong or what the disability is. It just tells me, give them additional time, allow them to do X, Y, and Z. So that would be the disabilities, and then from there you have information on how to contact the department chair and the dean of students. So if you have anything that you would like to add to HCC, or anything that you would like to talk to about either how my class is going or anything that HCC is doing that you feel could be done better, the first person you would probably talk to would be the department head or department chair. And then if Mr. Herman doesn't do anything, then you would go the step up above that. Yeah. Okay, so that's the syllabus. So basically, you have your schedule, how you're going to be graded, what to expect out of the class, where the class is going to be, the fact that we're going to be using Canvas, and where your assignments and roughly what the assignments are going to be. So I hope you found this informative. I know this is quite long at 40 minutes, but if you weren't able to attend the first day, I would highly recommend you watching this. It'll give you an idea of what I would have said in the introductory for that day. So have a wonderful day. Take care, and bye-bye.